Hello and welcome to CapacityTV. I'm delighted to be joined today by Franz Bader of A1 Telekom Austria. Hi Franz.
Hi, good morning.
Franz, congratulations on the new appointment. I believe you are now the Director of Wholesale at A1 Telekom Austria. Perhaps you could tell me a bit about your sort of future plans and expectations.
Thank you very much for asking the question. I'm happy that I have got this job and the confirmation from our executives. I'm happy to run the wholesale department as I was working for quite a while in this environment. So I know the environment, the team, and we are trying to serve whatever we can on the retail side. We are being an enabler of all our retail business. And of course we have to do business. And this is quite important. The wholesale business for Telekom Austria represents more than 10% of the total group revenue. So we are a part of the whole environment, and this is actually quite happy to run this economy for the Telekom Austria Group.
So Franz, you mentioned that 10% of the business is wholesale. Perhaps you can tell me a little bit about your strategic importance at the heart of Europe.
Yeah, I mean, we are very well situated as we are out of Austria, running in 8 countries in the Central Eastern European region. We have built our networks there and our infrastructure, and I think what is most important, we have the local people in the different countries which can serve our clients very closely. Matter of fact is the environment itself is Central Eastern Europe, but nevertheless with our new owner structure, which is coming out of the Mexican, América Móvil, one of the biggest telecom company in the world, we have a very close link now to Latin America, which is not the usual area where we were operating in so far, but with the owner we are getting also now very close to a kind of international business which we were never have been done. And actually the size of the business is quite different. When we are talking about different customer projects together with América Móvil, then it's a totally different angle what we could have approached as Telekom Austria Group.
So how big is your network then? You mentioned that partnership there. How much have you got on net and how much do you go through partnerships?
So our network is spanning from the Turkish environment to Frankfurt and Western European countries. This is what we are owning ourselves, and in all the 8 countries we are a provider. They are usually number 1 or number 2, so we are one of the big guys in the countries. And with Latin America, we have now the Latin America. We operate now in 47 countries together with América Móvil, so it's quite an extensive network. But again, mainly focused in the Latin America area where América Móvil has every country more or less, besides 2 countries. And we are in the Central Eastern European environment.
Now I know A1 Telekom Austria or Telekom Austria Group is certainly a very innovative company. Perhaps you can tell me about your position on IPX and why it's important to Telekom Austria.
Thank you very much. This question is quite interesting for us. We were very early adopted in technology. A1 was always known as one of the leading European mobile operators when it comes to technology innovation. IPX was introduced more than 6 years ago from now, so it was very basic environment where we do a testing, trialing together with a few in the group first, and then we with customers. We had one of the first VoLTE calls already experienced. So as we are a mobile operator, when you look at the company structure, wholesale is only a part of them, but the residential part is driven by the mobile operation. So we need this environment for ourselves, and of course we are supplying it to our customers. And therefore we started early. We have got now a decent amount of customers, and there's no doubt about it. This is the connectivity for the mobile environment and also for some services which is associated mainly to the mobile world, I would say.
It's interesting you talk about the services that this then opens up, so things like voice over LTE, etc. Perhaps you can tell me more about the services that you're offering.
Yeah, I mean actually one of the first services what we offered was a connectivity to RIM, which might not be of an importance what we are having right now, as unfortunately this company seems to have not the brightest future. Nevertheless, we have already done all the basic data environment, which actually main of the IPX provider are doing. We have started with voice calling right now. We are testing some payment solutions on IPX. This is the environment where we're operating right now.
And in terms of frauds, I know you've been battling frauds and you have some great services. How are you countering that at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, since the regulatory framework has changed in Europe and mainly non-European countries and European countries, we have some different approaches right now based on the European regulation. Of course, fraud scenario will evolve again. As you mentioned before, we have our own service, protect our own revenues, which is the main reason why we are doing that, but we're also offering that to customers. So far, we are affected on a very small 0.1 percentage, but this is only due to the fact that we are doing regular testing permanently, 24 hours, and for all opcos. It's not only done for Austria, but it's all in all 8 other countries what we are doing in that. So we keep it on a low level so far.
And finally, Franz, I suppose the last question is really to get your opinion on where you see wholesale developing over the next 3-4 years.
I think that's the most difficult question for sure. If I would know, I probably will be on the cabling side and not on the wholesale side, so we really would have the crystal. Matter of fact is regulation will still play a major role. M&A for sure as well. We discussed it yesterday amongst the group leaders. The importance how we close can work with what we are calling OTTs. This will for sure be one of the main areas where we have developed. But nevertheless, I'm a strong believer that customer-centric, that means taking care about your customer, providing the service what he's needing is always a business case. And I think everything is around the customer. We have to find the services. Yes, wholesale is for sure a very commodity and therefore cost-driven environment. This will go on. But when we discussed in voice for 10 years ago, voice is dead, still a bit alive, 3, 4, 5 years probably, not too much longer. The environment itself will not change. There will be M&A will give opportunity, but will give also some threat. So we'll see how this evolves. Not too much on new side, I would say. We are still generating new services. We are getting more in the payment industry, collecting services, what we are doing right now for OTTs, quite successful, I would say. So there are some new environments which are coming up. Which one future will tell us?
Franz, thanks very much for joining us today on Capacity TV, and congratulations again on your role as Director of Wholesale.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.